as he said, for this very historic 20 megawatt power generation or solar farm. I'm going to welcome here Presidential Press Secretary, Madam Kula Fofana. Madam Fofana, thanks for joining us. We're here again on another historic dedication ceremony, if I may describe it like that, and we are expecting President Boakai to be here any moment from now. But I just spoke to the project manager who told me that this particular project was completed since March, and they were just doing some fine tuning. And it's obvious President Boakai might have known about this even before coming to this dedication. How did the president receive the news of Liberia's first 20 megawatt solar farm being prepared and ready for dedication?
Well, Tony, thank you so much, and thanks for the analysis and for bringing people who are watching back home and following via radio on this program. But I would also like to reflect on mine. You remember we came here for the groundbreaking of this project sometime in October 2024 when the president came and did the groundbreaking. Because normally in places you can see when people break ground, it takes some time before such a project comes to fruition. So following the groundbreaking, and now we are here for the dedication, it shows the commitment that the president has and the follow-up he's been doing with his team. That is not, he doesn't just want to break ground for a project and stay perpetually, but he wants to ensure that the project is achievable. And this 20 megawatt is the first phase for different stages. There will be stage 2, I'm sure. I don't know if you asked the project coordinator on that. But so this one, so by September, the plan is to begin the second phase to add additional 10 megawatts. As you know, we need a lot of energy. The current ones that LEC and others are producing is less than what the country needs. So the president's interest is really to see how we can get to a stage where question of electricity is an issue of the past. So this is the pathway. And this project, from a solar farm component, as you know, dry season is our major high peak for the need for electricity. As the water in the hydro goes down, no rains. But if you have a solar energy that will help back up the system, and that gap that will be created during the dry season, the solar farm will come alive to be able to supply the needed energy. So this is part of the bigger energy bucket and the bigger energy plan that the president is really working on to ensure that he electrifies Liberia.
I mean, this, apart from Liberia being a major beneficiary of this particular project, this is also a regional initiative, across the region to help with energy issue. Does that speak to Liberia's effort in contributing to the regional energy sector?
Oh, absolutely. As you know, in fact, even the MD from the LEC, he comes from a background of the regional connectivity. He was working with CSLG when he got here, and the project that connected, or is currently also connecting our counties from Cape Mount to Bomi and other places, that is also part of Liberia's regional availability to contribute to the energy bucket. And the regional component of this is part of that. So the regional project, they have different streams of projects that are happening. So this solar power plant is part of that regional program, and Liberia contribution to this will also be great. And we don't want to get to a point where we don't have electricity. We're talking about transporting. So first, you got to feed yourself first, and you develop more before you can think of supplying others. Like in the past administration announced at some point that Liberia was selling current, and it became a big question of we don't even have. Is that true? And questioning that. But what the president is looking forward to is to make sure Liberia is electrified, and this regional project is helping Liberia and also connecting other countries in the region.
And I'm more concerned about Mr. President's reaction. Like, for someone who is literally like a spokesperson of the executive and all of that, how did the president receive the news of the completion of this milestone project?
He was happy. He was very excited about it, but he's not complacent because this is important. It is good, but it's not. There's still a gap. There's still an energy gap. It's important. It may not be considered as a drop in the bucket, but it's not as substantive as he would want. If it left with the president, he would have loved to have regional solar farm in all of the region in the country. But it's cost intensive, so it takes following up, finding funding resources, talking to partners, and partners agree to come and fund and support Liberia, and also government contribution to this. So, but he's happy that this is coming on board, and he's also looking forward to the project. There's phase 2 starting in September and completing and adding, to the 20 megawatts to carry to 30, and then hopefully he can find resources to reach as far as 55 megawatts. Because one of the other things that the team here has said is that they have the capacity here at the Mount Hydro to be able to expand to 55, megawatts to contribute to the national power grid. So, but also, that will take funding and resources. But for now, the target is to get to 30. We have 20 now, and we, dedicating this one is already, he did the groundbreaking, he's doing a dedication, and then hopefully we can see what happens to the next phase.
Okay, Madam, thanks for talking to us. It's been a pleasure having you. We hope to hear from you later on when Mr. President have gotten through with the dedication.
No problem, absolutely. And thank you again for, letting our people back home in the county to follow through on what the president is doing. And the president and the team, they're on their way. The program will soon get started as soon as they get here. So we look forward to giving you update as much as we can. And thanks for all that you do. And thanks to the ERBC family for all of what you all are doing here.
Presidential Press Secretary, Madam Kula. of the country. We have other regional power, agreements like the CLSG, and then this particular regional emergency solar power integration project that is being undertaken by the EU and the World Bank, and other partners across the region. So this particular 20 megawatt, obviously, it's a huge power generation source that will contribute to the national electricity grid. Obviously, beefing up LEC's already power generation capacity to power businesses, obviously power the economy, if you may. So yes, as we continue, we are now hearing the MC making pronouncements to the guests that are already here, asking folks to be seated, and it appears His Excellency the President might be here any moment from now. We can probably make our way.
The contractor we've worked with. We had a engineer also.
Seen signs of the convoy arriving,
and we at the
so let's make our way there briefly. We've already spoken to
that is
the
LEC,
Press Secretary, Madam Kula Fofana. We've spoken to the Deputy Project Manager,
World Bank, because
and we're now hoping now that His Excellency the President will be here any moment from now. But you might just want to switch the camera briefly. Just look just right here on my right hand side. You're seeing contractors from the International Consolidated Contractors. The International Consolidated Contractors are the company that carried out the construction of the solar farm. And then we're also seeing staffers from the LEC, from the Respite Project. They're all lined up, waiting to see the arrival of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai here at the Mount Coffee Hydro Dam, where the Reset Project, or the Liberia's 20 megawatt first ever solar farm, is being dedicated this morning. So the program's supposed to have started at around 1:30. It's already 1:30, by the way. So obviously we're only now awaiting the arrival of His Excellency the President. In the next few minutes, this program will obviously start. We showed you the stage is already set. Officials of government are already arriving. Some of them are already seated. Obviously, a lot of them will come along with the President's convoy since he's making his way from town. We also, the President will be received at the entry here, the LEC entry, before his convoy drives in here, where he will be formally received. So we're still here, and since we are in the confines of the LEC, we thought we could talk to ordinary citizens, but that is not the case for now. Literally, we only have staffers from the LEC in here. We also do have security personnel. We have guests from different entities. We have our international partners, development partners. They're all in here at the LEC here at Mount Coffee for this historic event. So basically, what we're waiting for now is the arrival of His Excellency the President Joseph Boakai, who obviously will be here at the Mount Coffee hydro power plant any moment from now to dedicate Liberia's first 20 megawatt solar farm, Chris James.
So I think we with the arrival of His Excellency the President Joseph Boakai.
This particular project.
Exactly. So
as we are with President Boakai's arrival.
Exactly. So initially we were talking to you on economic impact of this project. So access to reliable electricity remains one of the highest challenges or biggest challenges facing Liberians' economic development. Except the experts believe that the increase in electricity generation will encourage investments, support small businesses, create employment opportunity, and improve of basic service in Liberia. So the solar farm also demonstrates Liberia's economic commitment to transforming towards cleaner and more sustainable energy sources. So we also spoke of technical highlights of this project, the Restart project. So the facility is equipped with approximately 40,000 solar panels, modern inverter systems that convert solar energy into usable electricity, transmitted infrastructure connecting the facility directly to the national grid, advanced monitoring systems designed to ensure efficient operations and maintenance, government's visions. So the government of Liberia's visions are always remain to better the lives of many citizens, speaking of road constructions and electricity as well. So the government vision, the Liberian government sees the solar farm as a key component of its broader strategic plan to expand electricity assets throughout the country. The project aligns with national development goals aimed at improving infrastructure, attracting investments, and enhancing the quality of life for all Liberians. So there are other questions people may want to answer or know as well. So questions for the public: how much impact will the solar farm have on reducing electricity shortage? So normally, many Liberians are aware during the dry season, and Anthony, you normally notice the water grade at our hydro normally drop. So as a result, you'll notice that the issue of electricity fluctuations in many communities around towns are increased. So as a result of that, you understand that there are timing in the energy supply in certain communities. That's when LEC comes in with a regulating of currents in certain communities. They will say they normally go 7 hours in certain community, 6 hours in certain community. You know that these things happen normally during the dry season.
So that's load shedding, obviously.
Of course. So like you said, load shedding. So normally during the dry season, certain community receive current at certain point in time. But normally during the rainy season, we notice the issue of stable current. So as a means of solving that,
once the rainy season comes,
on January 31, 2023, with Sierra Leone, Liberia, Chad, Togo, and the West African Power Pool. Under this framework, Liberia secured approximately $96 million for transformative power sector investments. A defining milestone was the groundbreaking ceremony in October 2024, led by His Excellency President Boakai. This event signaled the strong political will of this administration to advance renewable energy and strengthen critical national infrastructure. Technically, WISPAD is designed to expand clean generation capacity, improve grid resilience, and reduce dependence on expensive thermal power. For Liberia, the core investments include the construction of a 20 megawatt peak solar photovoltaic plant, the expansion of the Mount Coffee hydro plant by an additional 42 megawatts. This intervention will significantly enhance energy security, support industry and jobs, and lower the cost of electricity over time. To deepen impact, an additional financing agreement of US $57 million was signed on March 22, 2026 between the World Bank and the Government of Liberia through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. This additional support finances the solar PV battery energy storage system BESS and grid connection, which details the expansion of solar capacity from 20 megawatt peak to 30 megawatt peak. The installation of a 12 megawatt BESS to stabilize the grid and optimize solar output. The part of this financing was an expansion of the Mount Coffee hydro and dam safety, which details an additional 42 megawatts to 4 new turbines and major civil works, and a critical efficiency and dam safety enhancement. This additional funding also was responsible for the regional coordination, institution strengthening and implementation support, which is the support to the national implementation units for coordination, capacity building, and effective project delivery. Together, these components make WISPAD a comprehensive forward-looking program that combines solar power, energy storage, hydrogen expansion, and institutional strengthening, fully aligned with the development agenda of President Boakai and this government. We express our deep appreciation to the World Bank and our international partners for this steadfast partnership, for providing not only financing but also technical expertise and global best practices. Kindly allow me to use this medium to recognize the Technical Services Department and its able Deputy Managing Director for Technical Services, Honorable Mohammed El Soul, who have wished to be in attendance but is presently attending to official duties outside the country. We also want to extend our recognition to Mr. Moses Fali, who is the project divisional head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, and also to Mr. Bill Hagan, who is the WISPAD project director, and the manager, Mr. Dominic Guru, who is our own and who is responsible for the solar project, and the hard-working team of this milestone project for ensuring that this project was executed as per its scope. Not forgetting the PIU, Project Implementation Unit, where RESPAT is residence, the contractor RCCO, and the owner's engineer Koyinko. RESPAT is not merely an energy project, it is a strategic investment in Liberia's future. It reinforces our energy security, underpins economic growth, advances our climate and resilience commitment, and improves the quality of life of our people. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Boakai, we are addressing today's power challenges while building a cleaner, stronger, and more sustainable energy system for generations to come. Thank you.
We welcome to the podium the Chief Executive Officer of the contractor ICCO, Mr. Ibrahim.
Mr. President, the Judge of Boakai, in absence of Vice President Jeremiah Gold, the Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, the Honorable Ministers of Government, distinguished senators, the Honorable the Speaker of the House, the Honorable Major Director of NSA, Mr. Mohammed bin Sharif, the Chairman of the ladies and other officials of the NSA, distinguished officials and representatives of the World Bank, distinguished guests, members of the World Government Community, ladies and ICC, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Permit me please to stand under this protocol already established. It's a profound honor for me to stand here as we inaugurate and commission this 20 megawatt power plant, Your Excellency. Mr. President, yes, this is a 20 megawatt power plant, but it is also a 5.8 million thank you from the 5.8 million Liberian citizens. This is more than a plant, it is light for homes, power for schools and clinics, and energy for the businesses that will grow up the Liberia's economy. It is hope, Your Excellency. For the people of this country, and most especially the community here at Mount Coffee, it marks a real step forward in the quality of the daily life. Mr. President, this achievement stands to your credit and to the credit of the LEC and the Liberian government. On behalf of ICC, I want to begin by thanking His Excellency, the President of Liberia, the Liberia Electricity Corporation, and the government of Liberia for the trust you placed in us to deliver this project. That trust is something we never took lightly, and we hope the results speaks to how seriously we honored it. We are also honored to have delivered this project under the funding of the World Bank. It adds to a growing record of success with World Bank funded projects, work we have delivered and continue to deliver across Africa. We are proud of that partnership and what it makes possible for communities like this one. I also want to thank my own team in ICC, to our COO, Mr. Rabia Sarhal, who followed this project day by day with unwavering commitment, thank you. And to our project manager, Salim, and our entire team in Liberia who gave their best on the ground every single day and night. This is your accomplishment. Thank you. I also thank the PIU team, the project manager, Engineer Bill, his deputy, Engineer Dominic, the project management team for their continuous cooperation. Working together made this project easier and helped us to deliver in the right way and at the right time. To everyone who contributed, known and unknown, named and unnamed, thank you. Projects like this succeeded only when many hands and many hearts pull in the same direction. Mr. President, we at ICC are proud to have been part of this milestone for Liberia. May this plant serve your people well for many years to come. Thank you and God bless Liberia.
Thank you very much, Mr. CEO. So for a brief entertainment, we're going to go to Big Town Corporation. We all knew them to be small town.
la vivre.
Our country,
that God gave us this country.
Liberia,
that God gave us this country. We are calling on everyone here to come and pray for this country. Liberia, Liberia, God gave us this country.
Sweet country de Liberia, Liberia, God gave us this country. Sweet country de Liberia, Liberia, let we pray for this country. Smaller yesterday, be like today. President Boakai, we say thank you. Smaller yesterday, be like today. President Boakai, we say thank you. Smaller yesterday, be like today. President Boakai, we say thank you. Smaller yesterday, be like today. President Boakai, we say thank you. NEC family, if you have your problem, President Boakai will solve it. Yes. NEC family, if you have your problem,
President Boakai will solve it.
He will solve it. He will solve it. He will solve it. He will solve it. If you have your problem, President Boakai will solve it. Yes. If you have your problem, President Boakai will solve it. NEC family, if you have your problem,
President Boakai will solve it.
He will solve it. He will solve it. He will solve it. He will solve it. If you have your problem,
President Boakai will solve it.
President Boakai say, think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia for our children.
Yeah, President Boakai say,
think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia for our children future. So struggle, struggle to Boakai never kill nobody to Boakai never ever kill nobody to survive. Boakai struggle on his own. Yes, the team of Boakai talking. The team of Boakai talking. Mr. Balo, the team of Boakai, the team of Boakai talking. Come and talk here. Aye, you must talk it with your zip on more. Yes, our partner, they will be family. We tell you thank you for your support. Our partner, they will be family. We say thank you for your support. Yes, there is no time for tradition. President Boakai say, there is no time for who knows you. There is no time for segregation. We must put Liberia first. We get a leader, democratic leader. Whoever you be our country, Liberia. We get a leader, Liberia. They want it so. Fellow Liberia. There's the time to rebuild our country.
No hand, no hand. Our next remark, Honorable Mohammed M. Sharif, Managing Director of the Liberia Electricity Corporation.
All right, our next remark is coming from the Managing Director of the Liberia Electricity Corporation.
Come on, man, you can do better than that. Are you hungry? But then clap for the selection. That was really fantastic. His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai Sr., President, the Republic of Liberia. Honorable Richard Kuhn, our dynamic speaker. Honorable ministers and government officials, our distinguished chairmen and members of the Senate and House Committees on Energy, Mr. Albert Ford, Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Madam Georgia Walling, Country Manager of the World Bank Group in Liberia, distinguished development partners, our contractor, RCC, colleagues, the management and staff of the LEC. I call them the creme de la creme. The best of the best. All those you see around here. In LEC, we are about 95 to 98% Liberia through the entire value chain. Generation, transmission, distribution. Don't see them like though, they are very good. So clap for yourself. Your Excellency, for generations, the waters of the St. Paul River have carried the promise of this nation through the turbines of the Mount Coffee. Today, on this very ground, we add a second force to that promise, the power of the sun. It is a profound honor to welcome you to the dedication of this 20 megawatt solar power plant delivered under the Regional Emergency Solar Power Intervention Project, which we call the RESPITE. This plant is more than steel, glass, and silicon. It is reliability for clinic that must keep the vaccines cold. It is light for the student who studies after dark. And it is confidence for the entrepreneur who can finally count on power to run a business. That is what we dedicate today. Not merely a facility, but opportunity. At the Liberia Electricity Corporation, our mandate is straightforward. Reliability, affordable, and sustainable electricity for every Liberian, every business within the from Liberia. There are plenty of people hungry to do. This solar moves us decisively toward that particular goal. It diversifies our energy mix, reduces our dependence on costly imported fuel, strengthens our energy security, and brings clean, renewable power onto the national grid. Your Excellency, permit me to share further encouraging news. Unit 1 of the Mount Coffee hydro plant, the 22 megawatt that was destroyed or damaged 4 years ago, to I think around 2021, has been fully rehabilitated and is back in service. With it, Mount Coffee is restored to its full installed capacity of 88 megawatts. Strengthening our generation capability and the reliability of supply across the entire country. And we are not stopping there. We have a planned 42 megawatt expansion of the Mount Coffee, which is now in procurement stage, with contractors expected to be mobilized by January 2027. And guess what? The same world bank that rehabilitated the 22 megawatts is the same world bank that is going to finance a particular project. Give a hand to the World Bank. And it is the same World Bank that finances solar. World Bank, thank you. To the world, Mr. President, none of these happens without leadership. Your steadfast commitment to our energy sector, to renewable power, to national infrastructure, and to expanding access for ordinary Liberians has turned vision into reality. On behalf of the entire LEC body, Mr. President, we say thank you. To the World Bank and to Madam Country Manager Georgia, your financing, your technical partnership, and your confidence in Liberia made this day possible. To all our partners, local and international, your shared vision is written into every panel on this site. We are indeed deeply grateful. And to the engineers, technicians, and workers of LEC, together with our contractor RCC and the owner's engineer, you build this. Your skill and perseverance are proof of the rising strength of Liberia's own technical force. To the people of Liberia, this land is for you. Let me be clear. Today is not a destination. It is a beginning. We remain resolute in expanding access, improving service, and investing in the resilient energy solution that will carry our nation forward. Your Excellency, the light we switch on today, in truth, it is in truth a reflection of your own vision. A Liberia where no child studies in darkness, no clinic falls silent, and no enterprise is held back for want of power. Honor your leadership. That vision is no longer a promise on paper. It is taking shape in steel and sunlight on this very ground. History will recall this as a moment when Liberia chose to power its own future and chose to do so under your leadership and under your watch. For that courage and that resolve, Mr. President, the Liberia Electricity Corporation and indeed the entire nation salutes you, Mr. President. As we dedicate this plant, let us reaffirm our shared promise. That is, a Liberia powered by clean energy, strengthened through partnership, and lit by a common vision for our future. Together we are brightening lives, empowering Liberia's future. I thank you, and may God bless the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
We welcome to the podium Ms. Georgia Wallen, Country Manager, World Bank.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Members of the Cabinet, Legislature, and Judiciary, Honorable Managing Director of LEC and the LEC team, County Representatives, distinguished partners, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the World Bank Group, I would like to express hearty congratulations to Liberia on today's commissioning of the country's first ever grid-connected solar PV plant. Accept warm congratulations also on behalf of Mokhtar Diop, Managing Director of the International Finance Corporation, with thanks for the kind invitation. Energy access is at the heart of World Bank Group Liberia Partnership, which aims to help Liberia build foundations for more and better jobs. Energy is an enabler for inclusive growth, job creation, and improved livelihoods. Today is another win for the Liberian people, for the Arrest Agenda, and for Liberia's National Energy Compact, launched last January in Dar es Salaam at the Africa Energy Summit, the M300 Africa Energy Summit. Your goal to connect 100,000 households annually and raise energy access to 75% of the Liberian population is bold and ambitious. Achieving that goal will be transformational, unlocking opportunities for all Liberians. The World Bank Group is honored to stand alongside Liberia, its development partners, and private sector partners in this journey. I want to highlight a little bit of what's new and what's coming. And Honorable Managing Director and Honorable Fredericks mentioned some of these things. First, building on today's commissioning, over the next year, the bank will support expansion of this very solar plant from 20 megawatts to 30 megawatts with battery storage. The commissioning of the SCATEC release, supported by IFC, and further development of solar independent power producers through competitive bidding will also boost energy security and help Liberia to meet dry season demand. Second, we also look forward to the commissioning, as MD Sharif mentioned, of Unit 1 of Mount Coffee Hydro, which adds an additional 22 megawatts. And in 2029, we hope to commission an additional 42 megawatts of capacity at Mount Coffee. What you can hear across all of these activities is momentum, and we're very excited about that. Third, our World Bank Group team, together with the government of Liberia and development partners, is working to support you in preparing the St. Paul II hydropower project. The SP2 project has potential to be a true game changer, more than doubling the country's installed electricity capacity within 6 years. Liberia's progress is part of a story of progress for millions of people across West Africa. Financing for this plant is from the Regional Emergency Solar Power Intervention Project, financed by the IDA Regional Program. With support from this project, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Chad, and Togo formed a partnership to build lasting, high-quality energy infrastructure. And next week, Sierra Leone will also commission their solar plant under the same project. Your Excellency, Respite was launched officially in 2023, January 2023, when high oil prices provoked by conflict were putting pressure on Liberia's budget. Today, we face a similar reality, but Liberia has an answer. Instead of paying 28 cents for every unit of energy from oil generation, this plant helps Liberia to harness solar power to generate electricity at just 3 cents per unit of energy. All of our efforts aim to help lower the cost of electricity, improve reliability, and bring power to more Liberian individuals, families, and businesses. I'd like to express sincere thanks to Managing Director Sharif, the excellent LEC team, the Respite PIU, and the World Bank Group team for your tireless work, deep commitment, and tremendous resilience. Liberia's future is bright, and it is getting ever brighter. Congratulations.
For his remark, we welcome to the podium Honorable Edwin Melvin Snore, Chairman, Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment, the House of Senate. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, the Honorable Speaker, Ministers of Government, World Bank Group, the Superintendent of Montserrat County, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Mr. President, the fact that the Honorable Speaker of the House is here and the legislature speaks in one voice, I will try to be extremely brief, since I believe he will give the official message of the legislature. I've come in my capacity as chairman of the Senate Standing Committee on Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment. But most importantly, I've come in testimony of the excellent relationship that we have with the management of the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Since the appointment of Mr. Mohammed Sharif, the Senate is briefed on a regular basis on the energy sector of this country, especially as regards electricity. Since his appointment, he has continued to improve the electricity sector of this country. And we're extremely proud of his stewardship, and that is why we thought today that we should make it our business to be here to not just give him his flowers, but to also thank His Excellency the President for appointing such a distinguished gentleman who has a vision and who understands the work he was appointed to perform. Mr. President, today we are inaugurating the 20 megawatt solar farm for Liberia, and like the World Bank just said, in a year or so it will be increased to 30. That shows that we can have more hospitals with electricity. That shows that we can have more street lights on the Robertsfield Road like was inaugurated a few months ago. And that shows that we can have a better living condition. Electricity encompasses all barriers. When the light is on or when there's electricity, no one wants to know which religion you belong to or which political party you belong to or where you stand, what side of the road you stand on. It belongs to all Liberians. And no matter which part of the political divide we find ourselves, any government and any president who will endeavor to improve the energy capacity of the country must be given the flowers. So, Mr. President, I've come today to say thank you. Thank you for your tireless effort. Thank you for your support to the management of LEC. And I also want to say thanks to my good friend, the Minister of Finance, who has continued to make available the necessary budgetary allocation to ensure that LEC can get to its peak. Yesterday, we read a document on the floor from the President for LEC, and that document was sent to the Hydrocarbon and the Finance Committee. And I can assure you, Mr. Managing Director and Mr. Minister of Finance, that having come here today and see what LEC is doing and know the potential of LEC under the stewardship of Mr. Sharif, I can assure you that we will seek and lobby for its expeditious passage to ensure that we can continue to improve the electricity sector in this country. So again, Mr. President, I want to thank you for appointing such a distinguished young man who understands the sector. I want to thank you, Mr. Managing Director, for your effort in improving the electricity condition of the country, and I want to thank the government for its continuous effort in ensuring that Liberia is lighted. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you all.
For his comments, we welcome to the podium Honorable Richard Nangwe-Kun, Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Republic of Liberia. A round of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, honorable ministers of government, advisors, the management team of the LEC, to all partners, the World Bank. I'm just here to observe today because, you know, normally these things that we legislate, we are here to see it fruition, especially when this kind of legislation get to the House. We need to follow up and make sure that these things are implemented. So my presence here today is just an observer to make sure that I can get back to the House and tell them this is what is going on the field. So like the Senate Chair said, I only came to observe on behalf of the legislature, and I appreciate the work so much. I've seen the planet myself. I drove around that area two weeks ago, and I saw the work going on, and I knew this day was going to come. Today, we are not seeing the representative district because she's on a legislative assignment in China. That's why Maruki Barry is not here. So my presence is just to say I'm here to observe, and I will take the message back to the legislature. Thank you so very much.
For a remark from our sector head, we welcome to the podium Honorable Martino Ketingba, Minister of Mines and Energy.
Your Excellency President Joseph Juma Boakai, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, cabinet ministers, members of the legislature here present, the World Bank family, our development partner, Mr. MD, and the LEC family. We want to take this time to thank the World Bank. I remember the first time I had an encounter with the World Bank. I made this statement to them that we have been too much theoretical. It is now time to walk the talk. And I'm happy that today we are dedicating this 20 megawatt plant, solar plant, that is being sponsored by the World Bank as a respite program. There was an old man, Mr. President, I'd like to share this with you. There was an old man in our village, he served as clergy for 30 years. Anytime you ask him for us to pray, to start a meeting, he didn't want to close his eyes. He said he didn't want to pray to God because in our dialect, when you say let's pray, it means that let's beg God. He said he didn't want to beg God. And I asked him why. And he said, those who crucify the only begotten Son of God are enjoying themselves. They fly in the planes. They are on a ship, the best SUV, and the best houses you think about. You listen to one person's bank account is more than Liberia Bank annual budget. And God is blessing that I was nowhere near there. The guys who crucify God's Son and went against God enjoying and say, I'm sitting down in the dust, and you say I should pray. I'm not going to pray. And what I captured from him was like this, Mr. President. Did we really offend God to say God cursed us in Liberia that we cannot develop? No, we didn't do anything bad to God. All we need here is a mature, responsible, and far-sighted leadership in this country that will make us to put our acts together and move forward. That's what we need. And that's the president we have today. Mr. President, the energy sector has a lot of key technicians, committed and dedicated personnel that can move this country forward and make this country energy independent. And this is just one of it that you're seeing here. The number of LOIs that are coming, more especially in the RPP corridor, is overwhelming. And our relationship with the LEC family is flourishing day by day, and the progress is setting. The time of delivery of providing the quality services to our people is our target. And LEC, as our operating arm, has always been there working with to brief us regularly to make sure that we get on top of the availability of power. Since 1847, Mr. President, we are not happy with where we are. We're not supposed to be to where we are. We need to move forward. We cannot be from 1847 and still be evacuating power from neighboring country when in fact we are the grandfather of Africa. We are supposed to be supplying them power. That's our determination, and I'm of the strongest conviction that we can achieve this in the shortest possible period of time. And my last word to the World Bank, as I said, we are much more in the direction to be much more pragmatic than theoretical,
that you have demonstrated the practicality here today. We are looking up to Simport 2 as well, to walk the talk. We want to see Simport 2 at the fruition. We want to see the mobilization to bring Simport 2 to speed. World Bank, we are with you, and you are our development partner. We will always be knocking at your door at the same time watching our own back. There are some other things that we are putting in place that when you come for us to combine our effort to move our country forward, we're too old to be here. That's why President Boakai said we should think this country, love this country, and build it. And that's the process that's on now. As we invite Honorable Snow just said, despite our political alignment and the thing, what we have is Liberia to move forward. That we should pray for the success of this country, then the country to come down. Thank you.
The voice of Mines and Energy Minister, Honorable Mateneke Temba, with that brief statement.
We welcome to the program, to the podium, Honorable Augustine K. Gafwan, Minister of Finance and Development Planning.
Augustine K. Gafwan is the Minister of Finance. He's on the podium now.
His Excellency Joseph Nyuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Richard Nangwe-Kun, Speaker of the National Legislature, Honorable Snow, Head of the Hydrocarbon Committee of the Senate, and other legislators, if present, the Sector Minister, the Minister of Mines and Energy, Richard Matoneke Timba, the Minister of Justice, and other colleagues from the executive. I would be remiss if I don't recognize the Superintendent of Monserrado County, in whose territory we have been welcomed, the Chairman of the Board of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Mr. Albert Ford, and the dynamic Managing Director, Management and Team of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the Country Manager of the World Bank, Georgia Walling, and other partners, friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are here today to address something that is critical to the development of this country. We have been intervening in other sectors on the development journey. A few weeks ago, we were launching the start of a cadet program in Banga, where 1,100 young people are being recruited by government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, sponsored by the government of Liberia, will be deployed across ministries, agencies, and private sector entities, including the UN, for 6 months in internship program to ease their path toward the workplace. We have put money in the budget, thanks to the legislature, approved some money, almost $4 million, for the recruitment of more young people in our national army. We have also put money in the budget, and the police will start to recruit. We are expanding activities in a lot of sectors, education, health, and what have you. But to address the critical issue of development, we got to address the binding constraints to growth. Because all that we will do will be peripheral, will be on the surface, if we do not tackle the major constraint to growth. And in our assessment, there are major constraints to growth. The energy sector is way up there. Then we're talking about road connectivity and others. So when we are talking about roads and we're talking about energy, it's because we want to deal with our problem at the root. We always say that the private sector is the engine of growth, but I always add that energy is the engine of the private sector. And so the government is clear-eyed about this. That's why even when we got reconfirmed under the MCC compact, the president, the government agreed with the Americans that the energy sector will be the primary sector to benefit from MCC support. We are mobilizing support from the World Bank, the African Development Bank, through the Mission 300 initiative. President Boakai led the team to Tanzania last year, the African Energy Compact, or Energy Summit, where we committed as a government to increasing energy access. At the time it was, I think, around 30% to nothing less than 75%. And we are on the way up. Dr. Sharif has just told me that I think we're just around 39 or almost reaching 40% now. So we are climbing. We will put in our budgetary resources to this effort. And when I see the Speaker, Honorable Snow, and other legislators, I'm more confident to say so. That's why when we got the META extra money, we took 50 million of that amount and put it to the energy sector. And one of the things you can rest assured of, Dr. Sharif, is that the energy sector will continue to be a permanent residence in the Liberian budget, and not just a permanent residence, but will take bigger and bigger spaces. I want to agree with Honorable Snow on the issue of development, what it does to the country. I've always said that the best way to unite the country is to develop the country, because the light that will be provided does not discriminate among political party members, religious affiliation, tribal, or what have you. The roads we are building, we do not ask for political party ID cards to tell people to get on the road. The health facilities we are constructing, the more than 100 schools we are rehabilitating and are constructing across the country, which project will soon begin. There will be no question as to your alignment, whatever alignment. Because the only alignment we care for is that you are a citizen or resident of this country. So we'll continue to do more. I want to say that sometimes I feel sorry for Sharif. And I once said that the president of this government is suffering from what I call the paradox of excellence. When people expect that you can score A, they don't tolerate your B. Or when the test is so tough, when people are scoring F's and D's and you score C, they will still say you fail, because they are judging you by your high standards. Mr. Sharif, you know, you are a man of high standards. Federick and others working with him, Boakai, you people are excellent people. And Liberian people know what you can do. So when you score B, you know, when the terrain is tough, please forgive the Liberian people, because they're judging you because they know that you are A performers. There are global crises, but sometimes those things are not factored in your grading. But from what I know, you've been doing well, and I can assure that we will continue to support. So today, we are dedicating the 20 megawatt solar project. Today, we are also dedicating the rehabilitation of the 22 megawatts turbine that got damaged, I think, about 4 years ago. So today is historic. This is what we are charged to do. The other thing we're going to do today with the World Bank, the World Bank country manager and myself we are going to sign 3 agreements. 3 agreements, I think, amounting to a total amount of 125 million United States dollars. The first one is a 50 million West Africa Regional Digital Integration Program, WADIP, which will help us to expand broadband access and digital connectivity in this country. It will strengthen cybersecurity and digital governance, promote digital entrepreneurship and innovation, support e-commerce, and many other things. The other project we're going to sign is this RESPRA project, additional financing of 57 million. Yes. It will help us to expand Mankofe Hydro Power Plant. It will help us to deploy battery energy storage systems and many others. The other, and this will be 57 million, as I said. The last one we're going to sign is the Southeastern Corridor Road Asset Management Project, SECRAM. It's an additional financing for the 100 kilometer Ganta to Zweju Highway. We're going to improve road connectivity, reduce travel time, which has been reduced, and to reduce cost of transport. So there's a great day for this country. And so I want to say thanks to the World Bank that has been a partner in taking team. Thanks to the President for the guidance. Thanks to the legislature for the support. Thanks to the Liberian people for the prayers. We in government know that the reward we get for doing anything positive is the burden to do more. And so we know, as I usually say, we still have miles to trek on this development journey. More to do, yes, but today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today, and day after tomorrow will be better than tomorrow. Thank you very much.
The voice for the Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Wehe-Gafan with that strong remarks there. Positive.
So while we go to the World Bank for the signing of these agreements, we call on Big Town Social Club to entertain us while we sign.
All right. Signing of the contracts, you just listened to the Finance Minister. The signing will take place right here, and immediately the Big Town Social Club, they are coming up to perform as the signing.
I'm from Liberia.
And so
I'm from Liberia.
Signing of that right after the signing
Hello, Liberia
program will be the President of the Republic of Liberia.
Hello, Liberia.
And he will groundbreaking of 20 Good afternoon and welcome to our broadcast if you just joined us. And this is the Outside Broadcast School of the Liberia Broadcast.
Hello, Liberia.
LBC, we are here in the White Plains, the compound of the Liberia.
Hello, Liberia.
That is the program of the 20 megawatt project that was been launched some years ago. It's the first thing that we hear from all the program managers. They are already supplying current to the LEC power grid. So there's more to come. The World Bank and the Finance Minister.
For your
more to come. Like the minister said, when you are a student and the test is so tough and people feeling and the A student you make C, people question you. And that's what's happening over Mohammed Sharif and his team here. Sometimes the LEC goes and people cry. They don't want to know what's happening or what happened. People cry. What happened to the LEC? What happened to the LEC? But we thank God the team is doing well and we are more and more. But let's see if we can get some of the song from the Big Town Social Club.
God will bless you. If we just everywhere you may go, God will bless you. We got nothing to give you. We got nothing to give you. We got nothing to give you. God will bless you. We got nothing to give you. We got nothing to give you. We got
Let me say, the signing ceremony is ongoing. I see the Finance Minister and the World Bank Country Manager, George Wallen, signing along with Minister Augustine Kwehigafuan, right here on the hot sun here. Back to the Big Town Social Club. All right, we go back to the Master of Ceremony.
Thank you
She
very
will tell
much,
us
Big Town Social
what
Club.
next, like I said
now
earlier
we call on the cultural troupe of the Liberia
National
Tourism
Cultural Troupe.
Authority for another round of entertainment.
The National Cultural Troupe of the Liberian National Tourism to come forth, and they are walking up. I don't know if they are expected because the guys are running for their instruments. And they will be performing here shortly. So right after this signing, right after their performance, the president will be coming up with his message to the Liberian people. You can hear the drums. Samba will sing in Liberia. All right. They are coming up. Once again, let me say welcome. This is ELBC Radio 99.9 live from Paynes. Sorry, I'm so used to this Paynes though. We are here in Mount Coffee on the compound of the Liberia Electricity Corporation. They're bringing you a live coverage of the electric ceremony of 20 megawatts solar farm recently installed.
We tell, I tell, you tell, we tell. This is the time to come together. There's not a time for confusion. This is the time to come together. There's not a time for confusion. We tell, oh yeah, I tell. We tell, I tell, you tell. Wherever you there cannot be peace. Wherever you there cannot be peace. Because you can promote development. Because you can promote development. We say, oh yeah, I tell. We say, I tell, oh yeah. We say thank you, the President Boakai. We say thank you, the President Boakai. President Boakai, for your good work you are doing for what other good work. Condition, electricity, and
Yes, indeed, the National Cultural Troupe of the National Tourism performing beautiful songs, wonderfully dressed. They are dressed up in their white lapa, a blue lapa, red blouse, red hair tie.
Liberians come together, Liberians come together.
It's time to dance. 3 gentlemen on the stage. officials have just got up from their seats. The culture to be performing. Elegant ladies performing here. Money has been sprayed all over them. Oh, this lady is serious. The money has been sprayed all over. All right. Beautiful performance there by the National Cultural Troupe. Beautiful performance. So let's quickly go back to the podium, and the president is coming up.
Don't worry, you are not being forgotten. Mr. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Hydrocarbon Energy and Environment, and other members of the National Legislature, members of the President's Cabinet, Madam Country Director of the World Bank and other development partners, Mr. Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Mr. Managing Director, Senior Management and Staff of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, prelates and members of the clergy, former officials of government. Lest I forget, Mr. Superintendent of Monserrado County, Mr. Commissioner of the Township of Harrisburg, and residents of the Township of Harrisburg, Mr. CEO of ICCO, and members of the contractual team, members of the business community, performing artists, all other invited guests, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of the dedication of the Regional Emergency Solar Power Intervention Project, it is my pleasing duty at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai, Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia. Remarks on this occasion.
All right, the president is up and walking to the podium, all standing up as he goes to the podium to make his brief statement here at this delicatory ceremony. Let's join the president.
Recognize the presence of the Speaker of the House, Chairman, Senate Chairman on Electricity, members of the Cabinet, World Bank partners, a contractor, reliable contractor, members of the LEC family, the superintendent of this county, our citizens, community members. And I say thank you. Every time you come to these programs, you assure us of your commitment and active support for what is happening here. I've seen that the Honorable Gaffon said, I think unity should focus around development. So for those people who probably might be in different parties, the best tablets to keep you well, and you have to get used to it because every day you hear good things happening. So you might as well start getting used to it. You know need. And so we will continue because this is what we have come to do. This should help us to bring us together. It is a pleasure to join you this morning for the dedication of the 20 megawatt solar farm, an important addition to Liberia's energy infrastructure and a further step in our nation's development. It marks a significant progress in our effort to address one of Liberia's long-standing challenges, access to reliable, affordable electricity. This project demonstrates our resolve to expand infrastructure, stimulate economic activity, create jobs, and improve lives of our people. It is also worth noting that we are dedicating this project in less than 24 months since we broke ground on October 11, 2024. Thank you very much. We are in a hurry to deliver services to our people. It is also a demonstration that what can be achieved when government, development partners, investors and private sector and communities work together towards a common purpose. Access to electricity remains essential to national development of our vision of more prosperous Liberia. This project is part of a broader effort to strengthen Liberia's energy sector. Through the Respite project and support from the World Bank and other partners, clean, renewable, homegrown power has been added to our national grid. At Mount Coffee, we are happy to hear that 22 megawatts of lost generation capacity has been restored. Thank you to the administration, and thank you to all of those who have worked so hard to have that done. And plans are underway. Plans are underway to be able to expand an additional 42 megawatts to the National Energy Compact. We are working to extend reliable energy, electricity to far more Liberian nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest barriers in the Liberian's growth has been inadequate access to electricity. For many years, limited and costly power has constrained our economic activity, discouraged investment, and hindered the delivery of essential services. Energy powers nearly every aspect of modern life. And we are here to make sure that we provide that energy. For years, many years, limited and costly power has constrained economic activity, discouraged investment. So it keeps our hospitals running, supports our learning at universities, elementary schools, enables communication and technology, and help businesses grow and compete. It drives industry, mining, agriculture, and commerce. Simply put, reliable electricity creates opportunity for growth and progress. So this understanding is reflected in the infrastructure pillar of our arrest agenda for inclusive development. Our administration is investing in roads, ports, digital connectivity, water system, and energy because these are the foundation upon which strong economies are built. As we work to diversify Liberia's economy, we are placing particular emphasis on manufacturing and value addition. I've gone around and seen some of the things that are made in Liberia now because of electricity. We want to process more of our agricultural product, minerals and timber and other resources here at home, creating jobs and retaining greater value within our economy. And I must admit, as we go around, we see a lot of things that are made in Liberia. And some of us didn't believe they were here because of reliable electricity, which is essential to this effort. Factories, processing plants, and other industrial facilities require dependable power to operate effectively and remain competitive. By experiencing our energy capacity, we are creating the condition for industrial growth and private sector investment. We are also laying the groundwork for a vibrant 24-hour economy. Modern economy should not come to a halt when daylight ends. Businesses, industries, and transportation services and commercial centers must be able to operate safely and productively around the clock. Reliable electricity extends productive hours, encourages entrepreneurship, and creates additional employment opportunities. This is especially important for our young people. Liberia's future depends on the ability to create opportunities for them to work, innovate, and contribute meaningfully to national development. Expanding access to electricity strengthens our ability to attract investment, support enterprises, create jobs across multiple sectors. Energy also contributes to personal and community security. Well-lit streets, schools, health facilities, markets, and public spaces help to create safer communities. And we say safer communities for our people. Reliable electricity strengthens communication, supports security services, and enables citizens to go about their daily lives with greater confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, this solar farm speaks to our promise to expand renewable energy while strengthening Liberia's energy capacity. It represents investment in economic growth, job creation, a safe community, and a more resilient future. So I recommend all who help make this project a reality that we continue our effort to do so. I want to commend you, the engineers, the technicians, the contractors, investors, development partners, government institutions, and community members whose effort made this day possible. I want to thank you. I wish to also recognize the leadership of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, particularly the managing director. You heard me in time past say, never send a boy to do a man's job. And you know when the man is doing the job, Honorable Mohammed F. Sharif, the chairman and members of the board of directors, together with corporation management and staff, want to thank you. While we celebrate this achievement, we recognize that much work remains. We must continue to expand access to electricity, strengthen our transmission and distribution system, and ensure that the benefit of development reach communities across Liberia. I want to thank you, Mohammed, for recognizing your workforce. And sometimes we forget those who keep our promises, and they are the ones who want to thank you very much. Our goal is clear: to remove the obstacles of growth, improve public services, create opportunities for our citizens, and build a more prosperous and inclusive nation. Together we will build the infrastructure that will power Liberia's development, support economic transformation, and improve the quality of life of our people for generations to come. I always tell people, whatever we're doing now should have been done 100 years ago. So I have no regret or feeling that what we're doing should be done, should not be done. With humility, it's now my greatest pleasure, on behalf of the people of Liberia, to dedicate this project. And in all that we do, as I always say, we must think Liberia, love Liberia, and together we build a great land. God bless you, and thank you so much.
Voice of His Excellency Joseph Boakai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah, I have the microphone. I have my president. Mr. President, thank you so much. You're going to press the green button. When the president presses the green button, you see in there you have about 3 to 4 lights. All the solar lights will come on, and you see over there is a screen. The screen will tell you currently the megawatts that is going on our grid. At the lower end corner of the screen, you will see one over there. So, Mr. President, please the green button to on the light.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. So I press the green button.
Yes. So you see on the screen there,
the solar farm.
Somebody please read that number. The lower right hand corner. 12.3 is going up all the way to 18 to 20 megawatts that will go on the grid. Mr. President, as we speak, the solar energy coming from the solar is currently on our grid, and that's why you see improvement in the distribution. No load shedding for the past week, unless your distribution feeder or transformer has got a problem. This solar is really helping, and they bringing on board the 22 megawatt of the unit 1. So, Mr. President, over to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, the lines are on. Dedication ceremony for the 22 megawatts is on. Dedication has been done by His Excellency Joseph Boakai. And coming up next is a tour of the solar farm. You can see the picture here. 20 megawatts.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next we have the guided tour. We're going to drive through the solar farm up to the delivery station, where we will cut a ribbon. And then His Excellency will take a tour of the delivery station, and then we'll come back here for refreshments.
Over to my colleague, the social media, television for the.
So if you're sitting here where we have the VIPs and you have a PPE, you can take the tour with us. And also if you're sitting under the tent and you have PPEs, you can take the tour with us. If you do not have any protective gear, please do not take the tour.
If you are listening to me, studio, you can please take control, and Anthony gets ready, we can send controls over to him.
We're now heading towards the solar farm itself, where President Boakai will be crossing the ribbon. And of course, we will take you towards the farm. We are here on the farm itself. just a few moments ago, the formal dedication ceremony just concluded. And of course, we are now headed towards the solar farm itself, the 20 megawatt solar farm itself, where the president will be having a tour of the facility. And just right ahead of us is the convoy of His Excellency the President. And it's quite a long one, being accompanied by officials of government, senators. Of course, the managing director of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the LEC, is also on this tour with the president, right on the formal dedication ceremony inside the coffee where Liberia's energy source work. I used to hear once. So let's keep watching. We want to make our way to the center now. And of course, just from October of 2024 to June of 2026, and like you can arguably say 2 years, just right in between, in Liberia is formally or officially dedicating what appears to be its first ever solar farm, formally dedicated by President Boakai himself. And so we are already here at the farm, as you can see from ahead of us. What looks like solar panels, of course, lined up here. Have a glimpse of them for yourselves. Beautifully aligned. And this is where Liberia's next 20 megawatts of solar power is being generated. And of course, you may want to say kudos to the LEC and to Liberia's development partners. And this is the farm just right here for you. You can have a glimpse of it for yourselves. Let's zoom out a little bit. And of course, these solar plates will be the ones that will be generating power to complement or to augment the LEC's power generation capacity. We're already here on the farm itself and driving just right by the river here. We're now headed to the farm itself, having a glimpse of it. President Boakai is viewing through his vehicle's windows and looking at this massive 20 megawatt solar farm, first of its kind in Liberia's history. And this has been undertaken under the Regional Emergency Electricity Integration Project, a World Bank sponsored project, a World Bank funded project, of course, to augment Liberia's energy, contribute to the country's energy sector. So as you drive on, have a glimpse of the farm for yourself. We also do have a drone footage of the farm. If you are watching from our previous broadcast, we have several of them simultaneously streaming on this page already. You might want to do some recording. I don't know. It's okay if you can. You got to hold something. It's okay. So as we drive on, it's obvious President Boakai might step from his vehicle and probably do a brief walk across the farm just to have a glimpse of it. And a similar project of this nature under the Rural Renewable Energy Project is currently ongoing there in Vonjama Lofa County, just on the outskirts of Vonjama City, also meant to provide electricity in that part of the country. So we are already here on this farm. This one is dedicated to contribute greatly to the country's energy struggle. As Nigeria makes more effort to be energy independent. Hearing from a lot of the officials involved in the statements. Dedication today describing it as a milestone. Here on the project site. Here on the project site, you can see for yourselves. The farm is not just in one location. There are the solar plates in this other direction. Beautifully aligned and designed. Right ahead of you, you also see some of them. What does this mean for Liberia's energy sector? Will this solve the problem of the country's energy sector? Well, obviously, the LEC have said this will significantly contribute to their current capacity. And eventually, this particular project will be expanded as more segments are expected to be added. And the president, just his convoy, have only driven around the entire solar farm. And just to have a glimpse for himself through his vehicle's window. And I appreciate this magnificent work has been done here by, of course, Liberian engineers, Liberian technicians. And obviously, I might want to say great job. Obviously, might want to say great job. It looks like the president wants to disembark his vehicle to probably take a walk into the farm before leaving. But as we drive on, we'll show you. You can have a glance for yourselves. The convoy has stopped. Probably President Boakai might want to just take a walk through the solar farm. But yes, this is the historic dedication of Liberia's first 20 megawatt solar farm. You want to hold this? Let's see if we can go. We don't know what's happening. In that. So let's make our way ahead of us. We don't know. Probably the president might want to take a walk. Okay, it's rolling. Convoy is rolling. So let's see. But keep watching, folks. Keep following us. Keep watching. So this is one segment of the farm, and we're probably headed at the next segment. It's spread across the fields here at Mount Coffee. And the all combined will be generating 20 megawatts of power to contribute to the country's energy sector. So let's head in the next direction. Keep watching LNTV. Hello. Yeah, our hands there. Maybe we're doing our life. Na host on. I'm not sure you just press Naka. So that's it, folks. This was just a brief drive across Liberia's first ever 20 megawatt solar farm. President Boakai has seen the farm for himself. Headed in the other direction where there are also works ongoing by the LEC. Several stations here, and the president is going to meet the workers. They are already there. I think we should probably get down, guys. Let's get down for this. Hey, Mina. So let's run there quickly, Jack. This is where the president will be formally cutting the ribbon. So let's make our way there, folks. Hello, ma'am. Folks, here we are. Sorry, let me squeeze by. Here we are, folks. This is where the president will be cutting the ribbon. And he will be twirling the. So folks, we now are with the president. We're with the president to cut the ribbon. It's just right ahead of us here already. We are at the location where he will be cutting the ribbon and formally dedicate this milestone energy project, 20 megawatt solar farm, making history. Yes, yes, ma'am. Morning. You're hearing the cheering from the background. The cheer the president home. Thanking him for the chief. Excuse me. So much. Thanks. Officials of government see how Speaker Richard Nabokun basically awaiting the president. And also to see the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Afwan, as they are with the president to make his way out and formally cut the ribbon. And the president will be making his way into the substation once he cuts the ribbon, where you will have a glimpse of the activities going on in there, how the power is being generated and distributed from the solar farm. And there he comes, His Excellency President Boakai. Chief. Chief. Hey, boss, Chief. Boss. Yeah, yes. So he has already cut the ribbon. We're going to make our way in there. So we're already here. We're already in the power station. And this is where the president being happy to this entire petition. This is where the power is being generated. So here it says engineers room. And the bathroom is just right here. We have the employee manager. And this is the command center of the president. The president is making his way here. He's going to be walked through on the activities taking place in here.
This is the control room of the solar farm. As you can see, currently we are doing 6.8 megawatts in the grid. So from here we monitor real-time our power production and our administrative of the grid. This is the control room of the solar farm. So yesterday one person here to tell the president, what are you doing regularly, what are you doing? The records you are taking, what are you marking, what are you monitoring? Well, the managing director is welcome to every station of the solar farm. So here we monitor the system, the entire farm, how much megawatt we are producing. So as you can see from the farm, when you went to the farm, there are 4 bigger voltage transformers. So each of those require NPST. So each of those bigger voltage transformers, once the panel produces the power, it is transmitted to the inverter. The inverter sends it to the medium voltage transformer. The transformer sends it here. So there are 4 of them. Here is MPST1. This is the amount of power it is producing currently. So this is in kilowatt. But when you do the mathematics, at the moment it's 2.3 megawatts. So it's fluctuating because of the irradiance level. So here we also have NVST2. So currently it's producing 2.4 megawatt. So it's also fluctuating because of the irradiance level. The same as NVST3 is producing currently 2.4 megawatt, and NVST4 is producing 1.5. So when you cumulate them, the producing currently on the grid is now 0.4 megawatt. So from up here, just the now 4 is with feeder. Yes. The whole piece will go to So about yesterday we achieved a 3% So all of this power also related to the control of the station. We want to just walk past you.
So I'll say the president being shown here in the control room where the power is being generated. And these are the hard-working engineers and technicians who sit behind these computers to regulate your power and to tell me what voltage goes to your communities. Hold on, you can put my brick off. So it says countdown room. This is entry restricted. So when I'm heading to the next location, there's another operations room here. And if you just look through, lots of batteries reserved in there. And we have
So have the record system, auxiliary transformer system, to keep the power house alive, and it is time issue the record stepping to capacity. We are now having to say thank you so much.
So the president is now headed out after viewing the facility. Please, can I step on the side? Sorry. So the president will pull his vehicle from here after a guided tour of the facility. So that's it, folks. His Excellency, the President has already been given a guided tour of the facility. We're going to make our way out now. Thanks for watching with us. So folks, that does it for the guided tour of the 20 megawatt solar farm for Liberia. The last place President Boakai visited was a control center just right ahead of us there. And we have to cut the ribbon to formally dedicate this historic facility. So we're now heading out. We'd like to thank you for watching. We'd like to thank all of you for following us here on LNTV, DLBC Radio National FM.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The glimpse of the solar farm for yourselves as we drive home.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
My man, don't have how you go. You're joining the car. Now the glimpse of the solar farm for yourselves as we depart. None new. Amelia. So folks, we're back where it all started, headed back at the location where the event was held. We've just gotten through with the guided tour of the facility by President Boakai himself. We're now headed back. It's been a long day. It's been an awesome event. Bringing you live coverage of Liberia's 20 megawatt solar farm here. And now we're making our way back to where it all started. History in the making for Liberia's energy sector. Folks, we'd like to thank you for watching. And music can operate us. Bye bye for now.